friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my reading journal setup and 2025 reading journal flip through. I'm super excited. You guys loved this video when I did it a year ago. I'll link that one up in the cards. I had so much fun with my reading journal again this year. I was just looking at my one from 2024 also, so I'm excited to continue having this physical record of all the books I read. I think it's such a fun way to like keep track of what I've been reading. I'm coming at you from the future, so I've already finished setting everything up. I'm going to give you a little flip through of what my 2025 spreads look like, and then we'll do the time lapse of me setting up my 2026 spreads, and then I will walk you through them so that you know what they're all for. This is the journal that I have. I've been collecting stickers on it. I really love all of the little silly stickers that I have on here, and then starting to put some on the back. This is a very basic dotted journal from Michael's that I got last year, and this is what I've used for my reading journal for a couple years now. I have another one for my like personal bullet journal too, and they're not as nice quality as the Leuchtturm ones. I've used those in the past too, but the paper is thicker and they're also like a quarter of the price. So I will link this in the description, but I used that. I used my Crayola super tipped markers that I've had for years. These are my favorite ever. And I also used my Mildliner highlighters. So all of that stuff will be linked in the description. Oh, pens also. This is really important to me because I love this stuff. I used the Papermate Flare pen, and I also used the Uniball Signo 207 pen. These are classic. Love these pens. And a glue stick, obviously. So that is all the information about my book journal. I'm gonna switch angles here and show you all my spreads from 2025. Let me know if you've done a book journal before, if you have any ideas of pages I should put in. Leave all your thoughts about book journals in the comments. Would love to chat about it. And I hope you enjoy the rest of this video. Okay, here's my beautiful bullet journal. For 2025, I set reading goals. I didn't end up doing this for 2026, but these were my reading goals for 2025. And you'll notice that a lot of the spreads I did in 2025 match some of the ones in 2026, but we'll get to that. Okay, this was my top TBR for 2025. I love having lots of these little printed out pictures in here, so you'll see that a lot throughout. This is my physical TBR. I've done this spread like 5 times in my life, and I love the way that it looks. It's fun to keep track of reading books on my physical TBR. And then here is my book tracker. I did 100, and then I glued in this extra page for the extra books that I had read. So I did a little different this year to just add that in from the beginning, and they're color coded by month. And these colors, I kind of used this color code throughout, like in the physical TBR, that's what all those colors mean. They correspond to the month that I read the book in. Here is my layout of stats for every month, like keeping track of numbers. Here's my book bracket. My Friends is my favorite book of the year. Then here's my 5-star reads. I was doing really good at the beginning of the year, getting lots of 5 stars, and then it kind of fell off, so hoping for more 5-star reads this year. Then I have my DNFs. This I'm proud of because usually I don't DNF books, and I did DNF a good amount of books this year. And then I have my monthly favorites. And we have my series tracker. I'm not sold on this look setup of the series tracker, but I did read a lot of series this year. Then my little challenges, successfully completed the book bingo and almost did A to Z. We'll see if I can do it again this year. And then I did my monthly TBR, so every month I did like glued in the books that I had on my TBR, and then I wrote what days that I read them and like highlighted under if I had read them. So I'm really glad that I did this. It's a cool way to see if I'm sticking to my TBRs or not. As you can see, not so good in July. Kind of fell off a little bit more towards the end of the year, but that was a fun way to keep track. This is where the monthly spreads begin. I did the same thing every month. Basically, the color corresponds to the book, and then it shows like what days I read the book. I love this form of visualization for reading. I think it's awesome. Then I had like my favorite book in every month. So here are the monthly spreads. I think November was the month I read the most books in for sure. And there's December. And something I added this year, which I love, I'm so glad that I did this, and I definitely put a new one in for next year, is all the books I checked out of the library. And so like I said at the beginning about the colors, same thing here. These colors correspond to that same color code from the beginning of the month I read them in, and the little slashes just meant that I returned them. Then I also made this spread for some of my favorite authors to read their backlists. I didn't make a new one for 2026, so I'm going to keep using this, and hopefully I'll have more to put on this side. But I think this is a fun way to keep track of books I want to read. And then I also made a TBR for my NetGalley books. I don't really use NetGalley that much anymore because I'm not so good at reading them. Basically every single one of these I read after it already came out. So that is 2025. Let's do the time-lapse footage of setting up for my 2026 bullet journal, and then we will come back here for the flip through. Let's get into the spreads for 2026. So we have kind of a boring start page, but whatever. I had to have a transition page. And like I said, you're going to see a lot of similarities between 2025 and 2026, but I like what I had going on. I didn't want to switch it up too much. So here is my top TBR for 2026. Then I have my physical TBR bookshelf. I have to go in and fill all these in. And as you can see, I left a lot of blank space for books that I buy throughout the year. And I didn't count how many books I have in my physical TBR, so I might even need to add more in as I'm writing the ones I currently have. And this is my updated reading tracker. Like I said, I did like a little, I feel like this isn't really a Dutch door, but I cut the page in half, whatever. So as you can see, there are 160 squares on here. I am not expecting to read that many books, but I liked the spacing that I had done last year, so I just kind of kept it like that, and I needed to spill over into this page anyway because I still feel like I'm going to hit around the 120 mark, which is what I've done the past couple years, so we'll see. Never know what's going to happen, but just want to be clear that that is not my reading goal. My reading goal is 100. Then I have 5-Star Hall of Fame, DNF Graveyard, and monthly faves. I really like the way this one turned out with the different colors. Like, it's pretty simple, but I love the way that it looks. I think I went for more colorful spreads this year. As you can see here, I went just like a little random instead of rainbow like I did a lot last year. And I added a few more stats. So we're going to count pages read. I'm also going to put average rating in. I think most of these are the same. So those are the only two new stats that I'm including. But love keeping track of numbers. Same A to Z and bingo. I put different bingo little like spots this year. Some of them are the same, but. And then, okay, every time I've done a series tracker, I'm always like, I only kind of like it. This time, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I started writing it in and it looked bad, so I was like, I'm gonna just cut out some paper and glue it in. I saw a picture on Pinterest. I think it was probably Rachel Catherine's reading journal, and that's conveniently the colors of the paper that I had, and I thought they looked really good together. So this is the layout of it. I did all the different series that I want to read, and some of them, like a couple of them, I've already read the first book of, but most of them I haven't read yet. And I will keep track of them as the year goes on, and if I want to read more series, I will have to make another page because this filled up pretty fast. And then here's my new library checkouts page. I drew a little library card in the corner. I'm really excited about this one. It's a fun way to keep track of what books I check out of the library. Then I made a page for my nonfiction TBR. I have to go through on Goodreads and print out some more of them, and then I will like fill that in throughout the year. Okay, then we start the monthly TBR pages. So I started gluing in some pictures for January. I didn't have all of them. I decided I'm gonna do a little scrapbooky, but I'll do that as the month goes on. So right for now, I just have written out every month. And TBR, it's July, August, October. And then I also laid out the first month of reading calendar, but other than that, I just left the pages blank. Then my last page is new releases for 2026. As I find more, put more on my TBR, I'll print them out and then I'll write down when I've read them. And that is pretty much it for my reading journal. My camera battery's flashing, so I'm gonna make this quick. Thank you guys for watching all the way until the end of this video. Let me know what your favorite spread is in the comments. I think my favorite is the series tracker because I feel like that one's been such a hit or miss for me in the past, and I'm really excited with how it turned out. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any more videos from me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, friends.